Welcome, explorers, to another episode of the Weekly Tall Talk. Tonight, as always, two of my best brothers ever.
Oh.
Not in the flesh. Well, in the flesh, but in different rooms, different places. Corey, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well, man. I'm glad to have flesh on me and be in a place that's always beneficial. Sure.
Yes.
Different
I had a
rooms.
little bit too much pizza tonight, so I'm a little sluggish, but I think I'm going to be okay. We might have to stop. We might have to take breaks. We'll figure it out. But while I'm figuring that out, we need to hear from somebody else. His name's Cale. How you doing, dude?
Wow.
I'm doing well, guys. Ready to knock out another one. I had just the right amount of salad.
So wow, I feel the
flexor. Hey, man. I had to do it. We went to Italian food, so everything else was going to hit my stomach like a bomb. So I was like, salad it is.
Damn.
So, but I'm here. I'm ready for action. Siler is up to his usual mischief, so we'll see how that goes. But how are you, Tyler? I know you've got that look in your eye.
That
but
special
how are
glint.
I'm not doing too bad.
Did you
tonight?
Did you have Italian food tonight?
What did I have? I had I forgot for a second. I just something quick. There's a brand called Wicked, and I tried them out for the first time. There was a little, think of like cup noodles, and they have their own brand, like vegan brand.
That's basically
and I just
Italian
popped in.
food.
It's noodles.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah,
That's
everything
Italian.
noodles.
Yeah, we're on the same wavelength. Italian pizza, noodles, salad.
Yeah, I just wanted to make something quick so we could start this podcast and take off.
You were chomping at the bit.
Literally.
Literally, yeah, exactly. Well said.
The both of you ready for tonight?
You said
We got a
explorers.
special one.
I have my headlamp on. I have my pickaxes. I don't know if
Hard
I need
hats.
those,
Yep.
but
Hey,
I'm in.
Ready to
That's
spelunk.
to always be prepared, Cale.
Ready to spelunk. Any kind of cave spelunking, I would immediately get stuck.
Oh my god, dude! I can't stand those videos.
Oh my
man. We
god,
can't get sidetracked, but damn it, they're
No.
scary.
Siler, take it away
Yeah.
before this gets
Okay.
horrific.
Yeah. So typically for our episodes, we'll start out with a would you rather, and then we'll ask the co-hosts their opinions on that. And other times we'll switch it up and have a short story first, and then we'll have the would you rather after. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I don't know if both of you are ready though.
Oh, we're ready.
we're ready.
I'm strapped
I'm going to say it
in.
anyways.
Okay, either way.
We have, for the first time, real evidence that hollow Earth exists. For those of you at home who don't know what that is, the name suggests a thesis. Inside of Earth, at its very core, exists an entire world that has, until now, been only a theory dating back hundreds of years. Deep Earth Galactic. The company confirmed hollow Earth's existence, is putting together a new expedition, and you've been called into action. The first team that went did not survive the full trip. Most were killed by local inhabitants, and the few that did make it back died as soon as they reached the surface, including the only living specimen they managed to bring back with them. Their cause of death was determined to be rapid cellular degeneration. The first discovery was a specific type of rare vegetation. If the DEG science team is correct, this plant life could extend human life by over 1,000 years if consumed above ground. Tests have shown that it stops the deterioration of DNA and fights off anomalies from forming, i.e., cancer, neurodegenerative disorders, and broken strands of DNA caused by solar radiation. However, collecting the resource is a deadly endeavor. It can only be cultivated by hand, and anyone who touches it is not able to return back to the surface. For you see, it causes incredibly rapid aging as you travel through the earth back to our surface. The second discovery was found in the blood of the inhabitants themselves. Their blood was tested, and it was discovered that with enough of it transfused into humans that we could travel back and forth between the two realms freely. The kicker is that even the smallest amounts expand human consciousness, allowing the user to react quicker and solve complex problems faster. Would you rather lead the cultivation team and never return, or lead the assault team to collect as much blood as possible, allowing us to continue our research indefinitely?
Damn.
Woo. Damn.
That's some heavy duty stuff.
Very heavy.
I have a feeling
We love it, though.
a pit in the bottom of my tummy, and I don't think it was the pizza. Both of these are hard options.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We did it again.
Yeah.
Screwed ourselves over.
Always.
The name of the game.
Oh man.
Kind of sucks. We're always put in these situations where like we have families and like
Right.
we'll go, but we'll never get to see them again.
Exactly. The hardest choice is like, hey guys, enjoy your life while you can, because everything's about to change. Oh no. My initial thought is to join and not join. I'm leading. No joining. I'm leading.
No.
No.
He's
Yeah,
joining.
exactly.
He said it already.
I
He's
think I would
becoming one
Do
with
the
the tribe.
cultivation team.
Yep. Yes.
I'm going in and I'm staying behind, boys.
Wow.
Wow. That easy.
You're leaving
Cultivation.
Deborah behind even after our last episode?
Yeah. Well, just wait till she hears this one.
Oh no.
What if she comes with me? That's a
she
contract.
didn't get selected
No,
for the
it's-
team?
How do you know? I'm leading the team. I got to pick my own guys and or girls.
Nah.
Just now. This guy.
To make it hard on you.
The rules
Nah.
are bending.
Mm-hmm.
I think Deborah would respect my work. Respect what I'm doing down there.
Make me proud, Cale.
Exactly. There you go. As I go into the middle of the hollow earth.
I just want to say that was a great Debbie impression.
That's pretty good, Siler.
You know, I've been working on that for quite
I
a
can
bit.
really tell. It
Kinda
was
weird,
like
but
it was
yeah.
like she was
Why?
sitting right there.
Why have you
That's
been working on that? Hold
What do you
on.
mean, why?
Hold on now.
Tyler has
Wait
to
a
go on the
minute. When,
expedition too, Cale.
As
I
a
was
Deborah
practicing-
cosplay?
For this episode, come on. Why else would I be practicing that for?
That's why I'm
Come on,
asking
Cale.
you. That's friend to friend, man. What's going on here?
All right. We're getting
No, I
Too handy.
definitely would. As psychotic as I am, the assault team label just hits me the wrong way. I'd rather be the cultivation team for sure, and maybe have a little
Never
bit
return.
of a bond with these people that we're dealing with and their surroundings, and show some respect rather than give me your blood.
All right,
Like some
senior
kind of,
soft hands. You don't want to get dirty for the betterment of mankind.
Mm.
No. I don't like anyone.
Huh.
That's
Not
why I'm
even
going
us.
in there in the first
I'm
place.
gonna have to go back and replay a few of our shows to confirm that.
Yeah.
Just like a compilation of all my terrible deeds.
Uh-huh.
Oh man, this is once in a lifetime opportunity to go down there and hang out, man.
Yeah,
permanently.
but you'd have to live there.
It could be awesome. My version of what I would have down there would be awesome.
Okay.
Would it be only like one type of vegetation, or like
Well, that's what the script
that's the
says.
thing? Would you be eating like the same thing every day, Cale?
Oh yeah, would you look for
Lettuce?
other things to eat?
Start nibbling on random stuff. I don't know what's poisonous, what's nothing. I'm just like
Hey,
taste
man.
testing the whole hollow earth.
Pretty sure that's how it went.
Someone had to do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just start randomly biting stuff and waiting to see if there's a reaction or not. I think I'm good.
That's why you're going down with the team, and you're leading it. You
Ah,
make everybody
I'm
else
leading.
try it first.
Yeah, you can have each person try something and then
Exactly.
well, that didn't
Especially
work
if
out.
I have you two with me, I'll just be like, try that plant right there. See what
Okay.
happens.
All right.
I heard this before. I don't know if there's any truth to it, but I heard it. I heard that
I heard
if
it.
Heard it.
you are in a foreign land and you don't know what's safe to eat, you look at what the animals eat.
Oh,
I would agree with that. Sure. And we would have examples. Those people are the inhabitants, the natives are thriving down there. I would just copy their diet. No,
Yeah, I mean,
they'd be totally different.
but what animals eat, don't they? Some things process differently in their digestive system than we do.
oh yeah, 100%. But I mean,
Some of
it's
the animals are just eating the other
just gotta
animals.
take a
I
risk.
just gotta.
so you wait for the animal to eat it, and then you eat the animal.
There it is.
Ah, you get double the benefit.
Transitive properties. I absorb everything.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Oh wow.
Well, enough of my explanation. Who are you going to choose, Tyler? Are you going to choose yourself, or are you going to throw Corey in the fire?
Corey, do you want to burn or do you want to fly?
Bro, every day in my life.
Oh, God.
Wait, which one?
Exactly.
He wants to fly burning.
Like Icarus.
Yeah, too close to the sun, my friend.
my gosh.
I don't know. You're host, man. You have to designate who has to talk.
Okay. Go ahead, bro.
All right. I think for the first time, I wouldn't just say, fuck everyone, I'm leaving forever. I would say,
Okay.
fuck everyone, I'm coming back with blood in my veins.
Yep. I need this native blood. I'm coming back.
Yeah, I would want to travel back and forth as much as possible. I would want to be a hero of both Hollow Earth and Surface Earth. I would want to be able to be the face of the lead expedition that made it back and forth, and also have blood in me that makes me smarter and solve problems faster. That sounds great.
That does sound pretty good, actually.
I'm gonna have to agree with Corey on that one because in the second opinion, you're able to go to that world anyways if you're collecting the blood, so you're able to come back and forth as you please, but you're helping humanity both at the same time. So you getting to experience that other realm while helping the human race. So I'd go with the second opinion.
I gotta be
eyes.
pretty honest. That does surprise me, Tyler.
Well,
and
I'm full of surprises, Corey.
that's true. You're full of something.
Good ones. Good ones.
Yeah, I'm the vegan vampire.
Well, so I mean, you say it, but like that's like you have to inject other beings' blood into you, so like it has to be harvested to some capacity, whether it's like factory to vein farming or like just I don't know if genocide's the proper term, or xenocide maybe, where you have to keep killing animals and taking their blood. That surprises me that you would do harm to others for your own sake.
What if there was a way that it was not harmful, Corey? Why are we going the harm way?
How are you going to get blood out of something without harming it?
Yeah, you're 1,000% harming these people.
Yeah,
No.
It's definitely exploitative.
Every time you guys go anywhere, I'm definitely rallying the natives against you. I'm just building up that toxicity between the two clans.
Jake
every
Sully.
time.
What if they have just like a? What if there was just like a blood drive you just have down there and people just donated?
And the animals volunteer.
Yep, I'm sure the
thinking
Red
it.
Cross is going to be all over that. Come on, guys.
I
We're
found a
invading your
solution.
homeland. Step
found
on up
it.
and give us some of your blood.
Wow.
I found a loophole. We'll give you things.
Yeah, we'll give you some orange juice after you donate.
Yeah, and a $50
Orange
gift
juice.
card to Hollow
Yep.
Earth Kmart.
Yeah.
Okay, Corey. I didn't think about that in my response.
Well, that's too
and
late.
I'm
It's too
starting
late.
to regret it. No.
No. All our always our picks are locked in. But
Final.
I think Cale is the
Set.
only one who would be able to like stay vegetarian or vegan down there out of
Wow.
want.
How the turntables.
How the turntables.
I love turntables.
Is that going to be the one instrument you bring is
Just
turntables?
scratching the discs and just driving everyone crazy for freaking forever.
Oh my gosh.
Instantly killed.
So yeah, I guess this is a different Tyler from another realm. So this is not current Tyler.
Oh, this
so
is
he
Hollow
might have
Earth Tyler.
Yeah. He might have different views, so this doesn't count.
That's fair.
That's fair. Hey man, you're on another planet technically.
Yeah. So,
But I
that's my defense, Corey.
I gotta
Huh?
say, I do love the idea of like being able to live a millennia or more just by eating the vegetation that's there. I think that's pretty sweet.
Hell yeah.
I wonder if it's like bland, or do you have to put some spices on it, or salt, or
That's the one thing I brought with me. Some sweet
Brought us
baby
all little
rays and some hot
seasoning.
sauce.
some aardvark. Oh,
Yeah, secret aardvark, man. I have my stash. Everybody brings all their supplies, all their scientific stuff. My pack is just spices and different hot sauces and stuff. You never know what
man.
mood is going to strike.
And vinyls and one small turntable that you can carry.
That's like everything you need.
Yeah,
You're like set.
Yep.
What else do I need? Nothing.
What more could you want? Yeah.
Nothing. Now I'm down there exploring, seeing everything. I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you said whenever I cultivate these plants, this vegetation, I'm not able to return back to the surface. And you said that if you did touch it, the rapid aging happens. But is
Yes.
it only the rapid aging happens if I tried to go back to the surface? Am I like fine while I'm down there? But only when I try to escape is when I like rapidly age like Raiders of the Lost Ark
Right?
and turn into dust.
Yeah, but like the plant secretly knows that you're trying to escape, and it triggers like some like chemical reaction to
takes
start
vengeance
aging your
on me.
body.
Oh,
Where do you
dude.
think you're going?
That'd be interesting. Like the plant had the vegetation had like a mind of its own to know, like a defense mechanism.
Right.
Like, why are you taking me out of here? I'm gonna start.
If I'm being relocated or taken out, maybe plant life is of higher intelligence also.
Dude, I mean, you bring up Indiana Jones, but I think it's more of The Last Crusade, where if you drink the cup of forever juice, you got to stay where you are.
That's true. Yeah, we could be juicing the vegetation down there. Live forever.
Oh, dude, you'd be so buff.
Damn. All I have to do down there is uproot vegetation and transport it. I'd be swole as a mother.
Mm-hmm.
He's pumped.
Imagine your forearms and biceps just from cultivating leaves. I'm sorry. Cultivating leaves and doing the turnstile.
Oh.
Damn, son.
Wow.
I would literally just be shredded. Another perk of staying down there. What the hell? I'm in. I'm like double committed now. Then again, you guys do have the blood. Makes you more apt to solve problems and
quicker to react.
You can come back and forth and you get the aging, right?
Yeah. Plus we get to see our families, which I wouldn't choose to do, but it's an option.
I love it.
I would love to see my family. So that's a plus. But
what if they know? What happens when they find out it's all blood money?
Oh, dude, you fucking lied about your veganism? And you took blood.
You said it on air, and now there's no going back. We're gonna have to cut this part.
Howdy, my name's Paxton, and I'm the vocalist for End of an Era and the co-host of Hammer Smash Podcast. The Hammer Smash Podcast is a semi-weekly podcast where we talk about metal and life stories, and End of an Era is the heaviest band that you have ever heard in your life. We're on Spotify, we're on Apple Music, we're on YouTube. Check us out.
All right, everybody, we are back. And for our next segment, we are going to be going into conspiracy theories.
Ooh.
And yeah, there's a lot of things online that lead to darker dimensions that we don't associate with, but we're doing all of this for fun. If you want to do your own research, we're not professionals, scientists, historians, so all of this stuff seemed interesting to us. So take everything with a grain of salt and have some fun with us. On the subject of Hollow Earth, we're going to go into things that we expect to find inside of this creation.
Ah, yeah. We know what's on the outside of Earth. What's on the inside of Earth?
The crust, what's in the inner side, the cheese, the queso.
Oh, nacho cheese.
The ingredients.
Siler's hungry.
Yeah, just different levels of cheese.
Food break.
I had to.
The queso. So apparently in Tyler's Hollow Earth, it's cheese.
Yeah.
And cheese related.
It's just
the inside
like
of the
Candyland,
moon
but
is
all cheese.
also the inside
it's like
of Earth.
Willy Wonka's chocolate factory once again.
But with cheese, exactly. The queso king.
I thought it was, do you guys remember the movie, what's it called? Us?
Do you think it's like the Upside Down? Or do you think it's more like Us, where it is a parallel life? Like, do you think there's like education? What do you think? Are there copies of Us? Are we holding hands across the world?
Ooh. Hands across America.
Yeah.
Hollow Earth. I like to think of it as like our polar opposites are in the inside. So Tyler is usually non-confrontational, very like a caring person, but like his alter ego could be like just a hyper aggressive person.
Ah,
Asshole.
Oh, well, I mean, sure. Yeah. Like your complete polar opposite. So if you met yourself, it would be everything that you're not.
Yeah. That
Which would
probably
be very
bad.
weird.
I don't know if I want to. Yeah. Yeah, I think the word I was trying to look for was doppelganger. There it is.
Yeah, okay,
There it is.
okay.
Dropping the lingo.
so in
Damn.
what ways? In what ways are they a doppelganger to us?
Physically, not. I don't think mentally. I think they'd have a different state of mind. Actually, physically, they might be different because they have a different atmosphere than we do.
Yeah,
Right? It could
They
be,
might be,
close enough to us, but not.
in a way. I think they'd be more healthier. They don't have like smog and chemicals. Well, We don't know that for sure, but I'm pretty sure they're we have the crappy layer and they're
Right.
protected inside the
I
shell.
mean, they've adapted in whatever way. They've had to adapt in a different physiological way than us, regardless of what their conditions are. It's going to be different. So
in a way, I think it could be a better version of us in a way, but also, like Cale said, it could be like our polar opposites. So that's.
Do you think these doppelgangers would be industrialized? Do you think that like they increased at the same speed as humanity to get to where we are? Or like, how do you envision them? Because if like my alter ego is my alter beast, you know, the Neanderthal Corey, just who's obviously better than the real Corey, like that makes sense. But like if it's Corey that is now, and then also Corey that is now, but Bizarro Corey, like he drives a car, but it's blue instead of red.
yeah, like everything's just like slightly tweaked.
Yeah.
The opposite world. Oh.
It would be kind of cool to like imagine like like a mirror flip of a world, but your life is every choice that you made, but the other choice.
Mm-hmm.
So where you would end up would be totally different because you've made every other choice differently.
Yeah.
So you would be able to catch up with yourself and see a glimpse of the you that would have been.
Do you think on that line, Tyler, do you think like your fate would be intrinsically tied to opposite you? Like if opposite you died in Hollow Earth, does that affect you in real life?
Oh, like they're connected?
Yeah.
Could be like a life force thing.
Yeah.
I'd say so, yes. That'd be kind of scary.
Right.
Just you got to make sure each version of yourself is making the right choices so they can both live a prosperous life and
dude, that are making the wrong choices. So the other can do better.
Take all the burden so
Yeah.
the other one's successful.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'd have like the same clothes or same styles. If everything would be kind of different. Makes you think.
Yeah, I mean, because they're either industrialized, like Corey said, or they're not. So, like, they either have these things or they're like Neanderthal, like Stone Age, just living off the land, no, like, annoying things that we have to deal with in our real life.
Yeah, which would show evolution on some plane.
Right.
Yeah. So, in the environment inside of the Hollow Earth, I think that I'm thinking in my head that it would be less technology and more landscape, everything more natural without robotics and whatnot.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
So going back in the past, kind of almost.
Yeah, but peaceful
Yeah.
like this.
That seems to be a
I think
very
it'd be nice.
recurring theme for you. You're the peaceful warrior bloodsucker.
Damn. I wonder too, like, if this counter universe and your idea of Hollow Earth, I wonder if the vegetation's the same. Like we'll find dandelions and daffodils and bees and stuff going around. Or like some people, including myself, subscribe to the idea of like a primordial life, megafauna, dinosaurs. Like I like the idea that it would be current us or current people, but in a land untouched by technology. And I'm wondering if that's what you're getting at.
Yeah, I think that pretty much sums it up. Living amongst dinosaurs and whatnot, that vegetation and being one more nature based.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to say,
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's vegetarian, right?
I mean, I was getting to that, but
There you go. Killing is forbidden.
That's the one rule you can't break, because if you do, they kill you.
Damn.
Oh,
Eye for an
Right.
eye.
Yep.
I think possibly vegetation and trees and whatnot would be bigger than what we have here.
Oh, sure.
Would just be higher than like the sequoias and redwoods, like
Whoa.
unseeable,
Nice.
like
Dude.
past the clouds.
That's almost unimaginable. Like we couldn't even see the tippy tops of the trees when we went to the redwoods, unless we were like above them on a mountain. Like I
Right.
couldn't even imagine trees that are taller than that.
Yeah. Imagine even like the trees were so tall that their leaves or branches would like absolutely cover the sky. You wouldn't even need a sky. It was just this I don't know this dome of shade. But then you wouldn't have sunlight, or the sunlight could shine through in a way.
Yeah.
But you'd have like this cover of just like
man.
leaves. I think that would be pretty cool.
Yeah. What's that called in geography? It's like the Amazon has that, where it's two different layers of what type of environment it is.
I don't know if that was a good like visualization
Canopy.
of what I was trying to
Canopy.
get
That's
Yeah,
what
at.
I'm
Yeah,
looking
there you
for.
go. Canopy.
That's kind of like that. I think there's a world in Star Wars called Kashyyyk, where all the Wookiees come from. And it's like a planet
like
of
that?
redwoods, and all the Wookiees or something live in the top canopy. And they're just massive, like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of feet tall redwoods.
Amazing.
But then the bottom, like below on the ground where all the roots and stuff is like hyper aggressive, huge beasts. Do you think it would be tree dwelling, or do you think it would be more land based? The opposite us's.
I'd like it to be tree based.
Hell
to
yeah.
get around through. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Your
Through
obsession
branches
with
or whatnot.
George of the
Pathways,
Jungle
huh?
is coming out.
We were talking about it earlier, and yeah, I'm bringing it on
See,
now.
this is planted the seed, and now here we are swinging from tree to tree on these vines and shit.
Yep.
We are gonna get ripped.
Oh,
Damn.
dude. Yeah.
That is
Just
a lot of
imagine
upper
having
body.
to climb, climbing everywhere or sliding down to get to your destination.
Yeah, running
It'd be kinda
across the
fun.
tree branches or swinging around or whatever. Yeah, it'd be very
That'd be a
physical.
fr-
It'd be like parkour everywhere.
Mm-hmm. And then, I mean, that kind of lends itself to the question that, what's it called when you're not trying to present an argument in good faith? A bad faith argument. There's the bad faith argument that like people evolved from apes. It's like why is there still monkeys around? And it's like, well, maybe this Hollow Earth parallel universe is that, where we still have more of our ape ancestry in us, and we, because we're still using like our arms like we would if we were primates, or if we'd
Right.
have to adjust to that tree line, right?
You would need that upper body strength, like regardless. That wider frame,
am.
everything.
I'm up for that. All of it.
Yeah.
You want to have longer arms? That's what this whole thing was about.
He wants to be a Tyler.
This.
You just want a treehouse? Damn.
Oh, well, enough of my world. It's time to move on to your Hollow Earths. What do you think, Cale? What would yours look like?
Oh, dude. Like touching on what you guys were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
I've spoken about it in our time travel episode. I'd like to go back in the past to the megafauna, like Corey's saying, giant plants, giant animals, giant everything.
Mm-hmm.
And that fits in with my theory. Something that I heard about is just the land of giants. Like actual giants are in Hollow Earth.
Ooh. That's horrifying.
Ooh.
Talking like 200 to 300 feet tall, just literally like Leviathan people just running around. That's how they survive down there. That kind of stature and that kind of build could survive any kind of like conditions in there.
Mm-hmm.
Extreme heat
Are they?
or, whatever the environment is, you would be big enough to fight off anything else. Hell yeah.
Are they hairy or do they shave?
They're just like scraping it all off. No, this is more of like I the way I envision it. These giants are more like ape-like, like a Bigfoot. Stand
Okay.
upright,
Oh, yeah.
move around, like
Gotcha.
kind of Kong-esque, I guess. But,
Okay.
Scruffy?
definitely
Gotcha.
like hairy, yeah. More like like humanoid man ape like giants that just run around.
Are they, so is it just people? Is it like just giant people, or like are there other things around it? Because like if you're saying like they're the tallest thing, they're more or less the apex predator of your Hollow Earth just by design. So are there other creatures? Like how do they forage or hunt? What keeps them going?
Yeah, like I would think mostly like vegetation. If we're having like megafauna and all of these things, like you could live off the land, like Tyler's Perfect World, we would be vegetarians.
Mhm.
But also, yeah, I mean, I think big enough. There's a reason they're that big. Is in my mind they're like kind of Earth's guardians, so they're fighting off monsters that are down there.
Oh, the Watchers. I like that.
Exactly, bro.
Wow.
They're like the last stand for Hollow Earth, stopping everything from getting out onto our realm.
Wow. They're the keepers of the Rainbow Bridge, huh?
Hell yeah. It's time.
Oh,
The
Asgard.
Warriors. No, but definitely I don't know. I just think they would be guarding if like, let's say for argument's sake that the two poles are two portals to get into Hollow Earth. I imagine them as almost like guards.
Like Heimdall?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like nothing gets through, nothing goes out. They're protecting us from the monsters going out, but they're also protecting themselves by not letting anything in.
Wow.
Because humans would ruin everything.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh, yeah.
The second we got down there, would ruin everything. But then again, they're 300-foot giants. I'm pretty sure they could just tune up everybody.
Stomp or crush with their
Exactly.
hands. Yeah.
Crush, stomp, break, bust, whatever.
Well, see, that's why I always conceal carry.
Damn, that Magnum against the 300-footer.
I don't know if we discussed this already or if this is even a thing, but what are they made out of? Are they stone?
No,
Yeah.
I was saying more like a stone
Bigfoot?
cape, more like a humanoid, like a
Gotcha.
ape hybrid person, a
Okay.
super hairy person. So me.
Oh, okay.
No, that's
Okay.
how I envision it. Just a bigger, buffer Bigfoot,
Damn.
but on
Are
a
they
mass scale.
Are they friendly at all? Are they pretty?
I don't think that an interaction would go well.
Fair enough.
I mean, it's like this kind of primordial, like land, like lost in time, exactly kind of thing. They deal with like their realm and stopping things from getting out or getting in. I think this is all they know. I don't think, in my mind, they wouldn't have like introspective thought of like what else is out there. This is like where they live. This is all that they would know, other than like the two portals that they're guarding.
So
Gotcha.
So friendly wise, I don't know if they'd be friendly.
I have more questions than I think we
shame.
have answers. Like, how
Ooh,
many
okay.
of them? Are there different sexes? How do they procreate? Like, what's the territory like? I need to know.
I got answers. I'm gonna say there's 7 of them,
Okay. Wow.
and they were all spawned. They were all spawned at the same time. Exactly. And they're millions of years old. They're like the creation of the earth was when they were formed.
Okay. So
Those are skinny.
4.5
older-
billion years ago.
Oh yeah, they're just like they're basically celestial beings, but on the
Are they-
inside of the earth.
Are they ageless or do they wrinkle?
Ooh, ageless. What a great term.
Well, let's tie into this. You're saying that the blood that you take from, let's say that the humanoids that I have, that's the blood you're taking to extend your aging process
Yeah.
by 1,000 years just by having
okay.
a transfusion. I would imagine their diet or
Gotcha.
their blood would be constantly regenerating, so they are ageless.
Very true.
They like reach
Wow.
like apex form of like protectors / apex predators.
Well, it's the
Wow.
vegetation
And they
that
stay
they
at that.
eat that makes them ageless.
Hell yeah,
Where can I?
The-
where,
the blood
where can I
just
get
makes us
one?
smart.
Where can I buy one?
they're not for sale, brother.
Aw,
Aw,
See,
what a shame.
Tyler, this is why you're not on the cultivation
you
team.
buy it in a strip mall.
Assault
playing.
team. Where can I buy one? Instantly kill you. I need one of the 7. That would cost a lot of money, actually. But no, I think that they were kind of formed when the Hollow Earth was formed. That's how I see it.
Oh,
Okay.
They were kind of Earth's or Hollow Earth's protectors. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It would form, and then the Earth's core, and then the inner and the outer, and then the mental, and all of that would form after
Oh, yeah.
the creation of their planet, quote unquote planet.
And in true terms of how big the Earth is and how big Hollow Earth would be inside there, since we haven't drilled down past, we were talking about this earlier, past 8 miles.
Yeah,
8 Mile. Ooh, good movie.
Ooh. Rabbit.
But you know, the scale of this area would be gigantic. You hear a 300-foot being,
Grand.
right? And you're like, damn, like in our world, that's unfeasible,
Yeah.
right?
that's you.
But down there, it's this vast amount of space that, like, I don't know if they're the biggest thing, but like the vegetation and the trees and everything else would have to be bigger than them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just to scale wise, it would be like what, 50 of us to be the height of one of them, plus the plants, plus the
Pretty
animals
much.
or whatever monsters are dwelling in there.
Mm-hmm.
I kind
The
of get
sky
the
is
thought
the
of
limit.
like kaiju, stuff like that from
Ooh.
Pacific Rim, one of the cinematic
Oh,
masterpieces of perfection.
that's pretty tall, brother.
can't even say it with a straight face. But like those kind of monsters, like they touched on that kind of like there's portals coming through, hence the giant robots. I'm just saying portals, but giant Bigfoot, big feet.
Ah.
Hell
Nice.
yeah. Damn, I want to make this movie.
Coming to a theater near you.
Oh.
Big feet.
I love you. I love your response, Cale, but sadly we're gonna have to move on to Corey. I'm sure he has a great story to tell us.
I'm here for it.
Oh,
I'm
let's
all
do it.
ears as usual.
All right. Well, I hope you guys are ready because I already have a theory on Hollow Earth. I'm pretty
Hell
sure
yeah.
I know the logistics of how it would work. I did some research
Wow.
into this. I even wrote down some notes that weren't just
He's
Wikipedia.
prepared.
Bro.
Dude, if
Bro.
anybody knows, it's Corey.
Yeah,
Let's go.
the master.
Okay, so first of all, the creatures there, I like you guys. I like the idea of Hollow Earth forming first before Earth formed around it. And I also like primordial landscape. Everything would kind of be untouched. Evolution, I think, would be slower in such a contained atmosphere. And the reason I think it works is because I think at the very center of our Earth, at the very center of the Hollow Earth too, would be a sun. Because I'm always thinking like, how is there light in Hollow Earth? How are there seasons? How's
Yeah.
growth? How do things? How's there oxygen? And
Right.
I legit think that there is a tiny sun at the very center of our Earth. And I was doing some research, and the smallest sun is roughly the size of Jupiter and still be considered a sun. So I think it's even has to be smaller than that to fit in.
Right.
Our Earth. And I think that we just haven't been able to find evidence enough of a star that is able to create fusion at that density and at that mass. So I think there is just something super, super dense and tiny and heavy, and that is our sun. And we just haven't found the model for it to write it out.
Do you think that this sun that we have inside of this Hollow Earth, it would have to give off less maybe heat or energy? Because if we were too, how close are we to the this sun that's above
So
us?
it's there's 4,000 miles between Earth's surface and the center of Earth, estimated. And I think that it would be. I think the inner core is like, how big is the inner core? Like nearly 1,000 miles or something like that. Maybe less than, but I think that like the radiation that amount of sun would give off would be enough to cause just the right amount of heat without like melting anything. And I think that the Hollow Earth is just larger than we think. I think it's most of the inner core, and the reason we can't necessarily see it or go to it is because it's surrounded by nickel and iron, just like our inner core is. Like we have proof of that. And that's why things can't escape or go into it, because of just how dense that metal is and how hot it is. So I think there's this perfect balance, right, between the sun inside of our Earth and the gravity that holds it together versus the outside pressure of Earth also being the perfect distance away from our sun to create life. I think there's a perfect equilibrium, and we're just on a tesseracting. We're just that on a larger scale on the outside.
Yeah, we're just on the perfect scenario.
Yeah, exactly. It's just the perfect equation for both the inner core and the outer surface. And we're kind of the result of that. And I think that the fauna and the life and stuff would probably be different. I imagine there's variations in landscape, but I think because it would be the inverse of our surface, our surface would be facing inward, surrounding the sun instead of vice versa.
You think this Hollow Earth would have seasons still, like weather and rain and snow and all those types of
that's
things?
kind of what I think. I don't think it would have seasons like we do on Earth. Because the rotation on the axis of Earth and the way that the Earth faces the sun causes the seasons. That's why Christmas in July in Argentina, like we discovered last episode, versus Christmas in summer in July. Winter in Argentina in July and winter and summer in July. And it just has to do with how close we are to the sun and which hemisphere is closer and rotating. So I think with the sun as the center of everything, it would be more brightly lit almost always. So that's why I think that it wouldn't be desert, but it would be mostly sunlit, drier habitats. And that's why, and here's the sticking point.
Oh,
That's why I think that there are lizard people at the very center of it. Because what better survives in a desert? Something that doesn't need a lot of water, something that doesn't need to move very often. But if we're talking about that amount of oxygen in that contained amount of space, they would just be huge humanoid lizard people.
that'd be sick.
I can't see it now.
Yeah.
You're going to be having nightmares about it or what?
I mean, if that's not nightmare fuel, I don't know what is, because people talk about lizard people all the time. I'm just saying that there's possible proof. It's just a theory, but I'm also a theoretical scientist. So
That's true.
I'm theoretically a scientist.
Oh, okay. Thank you for clearing that up.
Well, you know, it's not theoretical. These ads. Hi, folks. My name is Corey Andre, creator and host of the weekly Tall Talk. I would like to say thank you for listening to today's episode. If you like what you've been hearing, we would love to know what you think. After the episode, don't forget to leave a comment or reach out to us on our socials, where you can find us at the weekly Tall Talk. We're excited to say that we're working on a couple other awesome projects for this year. If you would like to know more about that or find out what else we're working on, we have a Patreon and Discord that you can subscribe to, where we can be found at Tall Tale Network. And if you have any other questions or ideas for what you'd like us to discuss on the show, please email us at talltalenetwork@gmail.com.
Welcome back, everyone. Hope you're still with us. I know Cale and Corey are, and they're ready to get into this next segment.
Always.
Ready to go.
All righty. We're going to ask a couple more questions about Hollow Earth and whatnot, and let's kick it off.
Let's go.
Do you think it's possible that this world could be hidden from us after all this time?
I definitely like the explorative part of me, though the imaginative part of me makes me want to say yes, or makes me like hope that this could be a thing. And like
the thrill.
Yeah, the thrill of like finding just a completely other world right underneath our feet.
Yeah.
Is the prospect of that is very, very enticing. Do I believe that it like playing on the like kind of undertones of conspiracy theory on this, like it being hidden from us, as in like in my theory where the poles are the portals, hypothetically, yeah, they could be guarded, they could be hidden, they could be a guarded gateway. If there's a gateway, there's like ways to go back and forth, and if they don't want you in there, then you have to hide it. Or
to expand on that, it could even be interdimensional, where we only see glimpses of these portals into Hollow Earth.
Right. Electrical like anomalies or shadows on satellite imagery or stuff like this.
Yeah.
Could be like the things that technically fall quote unquote unexplainable. Could be these flashes of like these travelings here and there through other dimensions. It could be a flash of a thing, and what better to be hidden than going to another dimension?
Yeah.
I don't think it gets more hidden than that.
Yeah. I need to know, Cale, after this podcast, are you going to head to one of the poles and start digging? Are you going to be the first man to uncover the truth?
I want in. I'm going. You're going to find me frozen like
exactly.
Jack Nicholson in The Shining. You're just going to find me frozen with that dumb look on my face.
Oh, no.
Make a monument out of me. I would go. It doesn't seem like the ideal place to go, but in the name of science, in the name of the portals, in the name of disproving myself, I'm going.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of want to piggyback off what Cale's saying. Like, I don't necessarily believe that there's portals, but in saying that, I'm very much of the agnostic view on this. And, it might have been a little silly talking about our theories about the realities of Hollow Earth, but until we have proof, until I have visual confirmation that these things don't exist, I believe that there's a possibility that they do. There's nothing to suggest that Hollow Earth can't exist. Like, this is the stupidest thing you guys are going to hear today, right? But there is a theory that Earth is shaped like a torus, and if you don't know what that shape is, it's a donut. There's a theory, and there are some sorts of mathematical proof that you could do that says, yep, that's exactly right. Earth is shaped like a donut. And, sometimes it's provable, it's disprovable, whatever. But like, there are ways that people come up with to present this evidence. And I think just like Hollow Earth, just like cryptids, all of these things that we have stories about across cultures and time, absolutely they can exist.
I feel like in a way it brings us together. It brings like communities in a way that we have all these stories and we share them, and we have our own versions of them, whether good or bad. But it keeps us wondering, like as a race.
Yeah, that's a perfect analogy. I think like the sense of like wonder, the sense of what else is out there, the sense of otherworldly things, even though it's the same world. That sense of adventure, I think is very not like necessary, but very like fulfilling to like say there could be stuff down there. There could be stuff at the bottom of the ocean. There could be Hollow Earth where all these animals we've never seen or beings we've never seen or all of these things. I feel like that's very exciting, like to even process in your brain. Like we had our own visions of like how it would be. And you got 3 different, wildly different things. And I feel like everybody would have a different answer.
Right.
And that speaks to like people's imagination and not necessarily the longing for this to be proven, but like the possibility, like Corey said. You can't tell me it's not until you prove it. It's not. I think that's a fair point. I don't know. People might hear that and be like, that's silly, but I mean, show me the proof.
Right.
Yeah. It also keeps us like with an open mind, not to like just think in one certain way, not to be closed-minded. So to have multiple people's opinions, it's always great.
My one question in all of this stuff, as we do our research and have our conversations into cryptids, Hollow Earth, parallel universes, things like that, and mostly like Hollow Earth and cryptids for this episode, why? Not in just the joy of storytelling, but why continue these ideas? Because they're not new. They're not new to us. Like I said, these are hundreds of years old. Why continue to add to the theory that Bigfoot exists? Why do so many people have so much evidence to present if it's not a real thing? Like I don't believe that it's just for fun for every single one of these people, because I think people that talk about Bigfoot are diehards. It's real because our thoughts made it real.
Definitely. I think that's their life.
It's the passion.
La passion.
I think what Corey's saying is why keep revisiting these things? Why do this? I feel like if we take away all element of imagination of what else is out there, the world becomes even smaller.
Yeah.
The world becomes a little bit dimmer in my mind. It's like, oh, we've explored everything. We know everything. I mean, there's nothing left to want to explore or want to find out or want to explain. I feel like it shrinks us down even further.
I'm going to piggyback that as well. Like, say, for instance, people with children, sharing these stories with them. Just imagine telling like not that little, but a child about, this creature named Bigfoot and describing it to them. Their mind opens up to, wonder, and they create things in their head that, and they pursue other things, or maybe that they'll take on that sort of those ideas and take interest in that. So I think we need to keep sharing it, because like Cale said, if we don't if we don't share it, it might just die away and become history that we might forget.
Well, and even to that point, why is fiction writing still a thing? If we know that these ideas don't exist, why do we write fiction?
Because it's so damn interesting, Corey.
There it is. Finally, somebody said it.
Mr. Sass comes out. But but again,
Sorry.
why have so many vampire stories if we don't have some proof? Like, I know it stems from things, but like some of these things are just unexplainable. Some of the basis for these ideas are just unexplainable in modern times.
Yeah.
And even to what Cale said, like, knowing everything, making the world a smaller place, like, that's what kind of, it doesn't kill it for me about space travel, but it intrigues me and makes me want to know, because the idea that we can travel faster than the speed of light isn't possible. Getting off our planet and going to other planets to populate or whatever, it takes hundreds of light years to get there. We wouldn't survive the trip unless we had a way to bend time and space around it. Like, there's so many factors that have to come in. And if you think about things, I guess, on quote unquote my type of logical level, like, it's just it's kind of upsetting to think that we would never leave this rock. That there aren't things out there, that we are the only creatures in the universe. I just don't believe it.
I agree. I feel another portion of this is, maybe this is part of my own my own brain working, but I do feel like the explanation, like you said, vampires, monsters, cryptids, all of these things are a way for us not to change, but for a way for us to explain that there are higher levels of creature or different forms that humans can be in or something like that, because in actuality, we are very fragile. Yeah. We can't get too cold. We can't get too hot. We can't have too little water. We can't have too much water. We're very fragile as a thing. So if you take life and you take all imagination out of it, that there's nothing else out there, we work our jobs until we're old enough to die. Mm-hmm. and then at that end, there's nothing else after. There's no afterlife. There's no magic. There's no nothing. There's no reincarnation. What a dim way of looking at things.
Yeah.
I think that's part of like people's thing, your sense of belonging, your sense of belief, like organized religion. All of these things are building the human race up to be something more than just another animal on this planet. So I feel that search for something is always our kind of thing of like what could be for us versus like what is.
Mm-hmm. And even to what you said, like the impossible fragility of our existence. We're the third rock from the sun, which is just the perfect amount of distance from a nuclear explosion larger than anything we could ever realize that sustains life. And to think that we're the only ones in the entire universe where that happens. To think that like a hollow earth couldn't exist because we just did the math and we're like, well, yeah, suns can't be smaller than Jupiter. Look, I have math. Like it doesn't make sense to me.
Get out of here with that.
It's not adding up, boys.
Get out here with your math. I don't want it.
We don't need it, Poindexter. We need answers.
But it's too impossible to suggest that this is
it.
Yeah, that this is it. That there's the perfect balance, and it was achieved on Earth and nowhere else.
Right.
Like we thought that nothing could survive in space, and then we realized that tardigrades could, and bacteria and fungus survive in space. Our knowledge is expanding all the time about what is possible.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Do you guys expect to find cryptids or legendary creatures down there? If so, which ones?
In Hollow Earth?
Yes.
Yes. I do. And my answer kind of goes to what Cale's logic was for the Hollow Earth of giant creatures living down there. Like, I mean, again, we can't prove it's not real, but like, I think that with Yetis or Bigfoot being an interdimensional being, like, of course, I think Yetis might belong. They populate all of Hollow Earth, and sometimes they just make it back onto the surface of Earth.
Right, they venture out.
I just thought of something funny. What if there was like a local pub where all the cryptids hung out? It's like a spot where they just
all of them go, and then like once somebody gets a really crappy picture of you, they're laughing about it because they're like, they'll never believe you.
Yeah.
They'll never believe it, guys.
Yeah. I thought it was funny to throw it in there.
The picture on the wall next to a human like asleep, and they're like pointing at him like, look at this dummy.
Yep. It'd be really cool to have like this is not necessarily like cryptid. Well, I mean, I spoke about I believe giants existed. Whether they exist still,
pharaohs,
who knows? But Siler coming out of left field. But definitely, if Hollow Earth somehow had dinosaurs still in it, giant pterodactyls or just massive dinosaurs and giant crocodiles, things like that. I mean, that would be amazing to see. And just to imagine, like, if we think they're sea monsters, which, I mean, in our episodes, I'm convinced there's stuff down there. Yep. You can't tell me no.
Yep.
I defy all logic.
Kelpies.
Could be. But I definitely think if I believe that there's sea monsters, I'm going to believe that there's Hollow Earth monsters.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now, I use monsters loosely. There might just be animals down there, and then we're freaking out because we have no frame of reference for anything. So sorry, monsters, if you don't like the label.
Yeah, there's just some like really nice like family of deer living there, and that's it.
Right. There's like giant moose that have like these super sick antlers and shit.
Giant moose. Maybe one of them's a sushi moose?
Shameless plug.
Talking about mooses, I think I gotta go catch my stream right now on Twitch, so I'll see you over there, and I'll finish this podcast later with you guys.
Oh, whoa.
Sounds good, man.
Hey, Cale,
after these ads.
Sushi Moose is online. Let's go check him out.
Let's go in, man. What's up, everybody? We wanted to use this ad to shout out our one and only bearded brother, Beard Laws. This man has accumulated quite a following on TikTok, almost closing in on 400K, which blows my mind. But even more importantly than that, he's a down-to-earth guy. He's been a friend for a long time now, and turns out, supporter of the show. So you know we had to show love back. He himself has 2 podcasts, the Beard Laws podcast on Thursdays, which uses fan interaction, community-based stuff, questions, all type of stuff for engagement, which we love. That's killer. And then a show he does on TikToks on TikTok Tuesdays. Shocking. That's on Tuesdays, guys. Anyway, anything beard related, this man is involved. Challenges, reactions, care, anything you can think of. You know, all 3 of us have beards, so you knew we were going to jump on the train. You can find him at Beard Laws, all one word, Beard Laws, on TikTok and Instagram. I'm sure he's on Twitter. I'm sure he's on everything. But look for the Beard Laws podcast. And if you're on TikTok, join his Tuesday show. We love him. We're going to continue supporting him. He supports the show. We love you, brother.
All right, everybody, we're back, and I am done streaming for the night, and I'm ready to finish off this podcast.
Dude,
how did I do?
I have never seen somebody dominate so hard like Tyler did on Twitch at Sushi Moose. It was amazing.
Oh, thanks.
You got a lot of donations, a lot of subs. Honestly, I got emotional.
I think we got another episode out of one of the fans that was talking to you. We'll get into that later. We have to finish this one, but wow, impressive stuff, Tyler.
Top tier entertainment.
You guys are too kind. Are you guys ready to finish off this episode strong?
Too kind.
Oh. Perfect. All right. For this last segment, we are going to discuss cultures, mythos, and history about literal places below Earth.
Oh.
We have physical places on Earth's surface that are suggested to be real entrances all over the world.
Yeah.
What do you guys think on that, Corey? Since you spoke first, I'd like to hear from you.
All right. I kind of said this idea a little bit earlier in the last segment. I wonder why these ideas are perpetuated. We did I quite a bit of research into this and just throughout learning about mythology and stuff, all of these different cultures across the world having no connection to each other. Why create the idea separately from each other that there are entrances into Earth and then designate these areas? Like it's astounding to me. Like the Greeks have like in their mythos like 5+ spots that go into the literal underworld
That lead to one spot. Okay.
right. There's like 4 or 5 rivers that go into the underworld. The most prominent one that we all know would be Styx, but there's the Phlegethon, there's Cocytus, there's 2 or 3 that I'm forgetting, but like these are all places where you can go see. And one that like really stands out to me is I think it's hold on, I wrote it down here. Yeah, Lerna Lake. Lerna, and the lake doesn't exist anymore, but back when they were writing about it, they said this is a lake that goes to the underworld, and it's totally separate from other cultures that were writing about this at the exact same time.
It's pretty wild.
Wow.
For you to think of nowadays like a real world entrance to the underworld. It's like, people would be all over that.
Yeah, it would be silly to suggest that.
A tourist spot.
Right.
Yeah.
But almost every culture has one. Like even going back to the Taino people of Cuba, like they have in their mythos an entrance to hell or an entrance to the underworld, or they like it's just too prominent to be a coincidence for me.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then it makes you wonder why everything that has to deal with going into the earth is considered bad or damning or a negative. Why is everything that's associated with going towards the center of the earth a negative outcome, a bad place?
Because it gets hotter.
Maybe because that's what I was about to say. Yeah.
Some heat.
The
But then we need
discomfort,
heat to survive.
Yeah, but too much.
Nah.
Simmering.
I wonder, that really plays into the conspiracy theorist point of view, I think.
Yeah.
Well, if they make everything about going into the earth bad, that's just to try to deter you from going in there.
True.
But that's where all the good stuff is. They're keeping it for themselves.
That's where the good vegetables and blood are.
The very best.
I think the exports. I think that this is another thing of humanity's grips with our fragility. If you put our dead in the ground, in some cultures you do pyres for other, but that we associate going in the ground with death. So for us to make humans more than just that's the end, there has to be an afterlife.
Right.
There has to be an underworld. There has to be a next step. Even from the dawn of time, there had to be something else. We couldn't just accept human life as is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's that perpetual thing. You ask, why do we still do this? Why do we do that? I don't think that human beings or most people are willing to let life be life until it's done. And then that's it. There has to be, I think we're too cognizant. We're too we experience too many of these severe emotions for it to be oh, my brain can't just turn off forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to do something else. I don't
know if the word,
just think,
I don't know if the word is hope or not like a hope, but
faith.
A faith, to carry on. Exactly what Cale's saying. Yeah, you are.
Right.
But I think that too, but not to say anything bad about any of the cultures, but do you think
there's a lot to say bad, just to be
clear.
There's
a lot of bad.
Yes.
But we're not going to go into it.
No, not at all. But do you think that all these mythos and all these cultures have the same idea because they want to be the first ones that came up with it and they want to be the right ones? Do you think, in a way?
Oh yeah.
You could definitely paint the picture for that's our ideology. That's we're going to adapt that into our life, because if they're right, you catch wind of that and you're like, that could be something that, and then that snowballs into your thing, and then you make it your own.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely think that could play a part, but I'm usually an optimist, but the pessimistic side of me is about to come out.
Oh,
I also think that a lot of these myths, a lot of this history, a lot of these culture things, I think this is a form of control. If you don't abide by what we consider to be appropriate, you're going to be forever in the earth, wallowing and in pain and in an insufferable place that you don't want to be. It is 1,000% a form of control of trying to control a mass.
But
saying,
isn't
hey,
it?
if you don't do,
Isn't it also like outside of necessarily control for society or over the other person? Isn't it? I think also a cautionary thing, because humans have this stupid thing that we call empathy and morals. And when you like, you can't raise people to kill other people. Like it's something you have to teach people to do. Like, all right, you're going to be a mass murderer. Like it's something that a thought that doesn't necessarily come from the sane quote unquote mind. So like society wouldn't succeed if everybody was like, yeah, just murder everyone. Who cares? No morals. So like if we have the idea of hell being a literal, like I can see it, there's hell right there, and if you fuck up, you're gonna go there. If you do something that
I don't want none of that.
yeah, exactly. And if you're saying like, you know, this you're bad, and we as a society don't like you, so when you die, you're gonna go to the worst place we can even think of, and it's right there. It's a tangible.
I get your point. I get your point.
So
you're saying
good and bad in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah. The flip side of control is also like, you better not.
Mm-hmm.
Or else this is waiting for you. So I guess control, but also in a way that's a fail-safe. All right, you can do these terrible things, but you're going to end up paying for it later. So if that's on you.
Yeah, we talked about this, I think, in one of our past episodes with guilt, not being able to, you know, not feel the guilt, but then you would make, you know, choices that wouldn't matter to you, and you would have no.
That's fair.
Yeah, if you didn't have a moral compass, it would be a free for all. But that's the thing too, it's not just a humanistic trait, because we don't see, while we see necessary violence in animals, it is not a violence that is expanded on and done senselessly. There are very few animals that I'm aware of that kill for pleasure. I think like cats being one of them, but most cats don't go around killing every single cat they see.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. That's very true. It's just mostly for like it's territorial, right?
Yeah, I think cats. Yeah, I think again it's like more fun in cats, but again, like with other animals, like you don't see a penguins going around and forming murder cults.
Yeah, no, yeah. It makes you think, what went wrong between us? Why can't we act as animals without going crazy?
Yeah.
Why
that makes any sense.
Why are you staring at me when you ask that?
Is it not apparent? Because Tyler, it's both Tyler and I staring at you.
Oh, here we go.
Hey,
always with the shaming. Always.
You said you wanted
to
bring out the pessimistic side, so the mood has shifted.
Yeah.
God damn it. I say one thing.
Dude, we tried to limit you to one body a month, but you keep going over your quota.
It's the greed coming out, the bloodlust. No, but I definitely think you touched on it earlier, Corey, but for so many different cultures to have a same general idea of what happens, or a physical place that you would go to as a punishment, is very interesting.
Well, not only that, but having ways to get there. Because like you brought up earlier, portals to Hollow Earth to wrap this around to our discussion, where like I think, again, your theory of portals is more newer to me. I haven't looked into that, but again, I'm agnostic to it. But I think that there's a possibility that we could absolutely have these things that take us into Hollow Earth. That's why like having these quote unquote portals to hell or entrances across the globe from different cultures. I think that that is evidence in and of itself that there are ways to get into and out of Hollow Earth.
Mm-hmm.
And
I could agree with that.
Yeah, and if you want to tell our fans at home at all about your theories on the portals at the poles, like I'd love to learn more.
Yeah, it seems pretty interesting.
This is very loose. This is don't quote me, Tyler. I see you have a pen and paper.
Never.
Put that down.
I'm taking
Put
notes.
it on a sticker, dude.
Put it on
Yep.
a sticker.
Yeah.
No, but I'll speak of just like the Antarctic just for a second. We touched it kind of earlier on the poles being the two portals. Like I said, one being the North Pole, one being the South Pole. Obviously, the South Pole being in Antarctica. And in your notes here, you touched on that, which is that it is an off limits zone for anybody who doesn't have like express permission to be there.
Yeah, like North Korea, you have limited zones, and you can only go there for certain purposes.
Right, and
Really?
it's basically sealed off from any kind of civilians. It's strictly, I think, like military sometimes can be there, or research operations,
Right,
and I don't even think
scientific research, quote unquote.
Right, quote unquote, exactly. But a theory, or the one that I like the most, is that it is a portal down in Antarctica, and what's down there is what was an advanced civilization before that had burned out or had moved. And that was one of the gateways, was the city that happened to be inhabiting there. And that was a gateway to Hollow Earth through this advanced civilization.
Wow.
Some people like antiquated that to being the quote unquote lost city of Atlantis.
Yeah.
Being underground and being in the water underneath the ice sheets and all of these things. I mean, that to me is fascinating in itself.
Yeah.
The idea that there's these civilizations that were up there just in that frigid, like just barren wasteland, but you have advanced civilization of, consisting of like temples and all kinds of things that could be conducting energy. So for that to be an option is just, that tickles my brain immediately.
And what's the purpose? Like you said, like it's off limits. Why? Like if a person has the means to get there and take an expedition, why stop them? Like, I understand it's a treaty, the Antarctic Treaty, I think it's called, where like you can't mess it, but why? Like
why stop them from digging? What do you mean, Corey? Like, why stop them from exploring or
you're
discovering?
physically not allowed to be there at all. You will be forcibly removed, or there is a no, like they will not give you clearance to go over there.
Yeah,
that's like telling somebody not to push like a button or something, and it makes you wonder
like,
more.
I gotta get over there.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and the fact that I'm not familiar as I probably should have been to bring this up, but I believe that like every when they did sign that treaty, I don't know when it was. I felt like it was in the 40s or 50s or something like that. But like all of these different countries signed it.
Right.
Even the ones that are far, far from there, everybody signed. We don't do anything there. We don't touch it. We don't do anything, and we stop anybody else from going there.
Exactly.
Why would you do that?
Is it like an Area 51 like that?
That's what
Pretty much.
That's feeding right into the conspiracy theory.
Yep.
Why would so many places who aren't typically allies
At all.
or some that are, at all, or have any interest in it doesn't better my interests to sign this to be with you. Why would so many places agree that this is off limits, that nobody goes there?
Especially during a time when like climate change wasn't necessarily a top ideology within the field
at all.
Like the idea of preservation while there wasn't as prominent as it was today. Like don't go there, don't create waste, don't destroy the territory. Like those tenets weren't as strong as they have been for the past 30 or 40 years.
Right.
When
I think
it
that's
was
a very
signed.
strong veil.
Yeah.
For them to hide behind. I say they very loosely.
Right.
But it definitely does feed into, like Tyler said, you tell somebody not to do something, what do you want to do? And for like so many places to be like, no, that's off limits and don't go over there. I mean, it kind of feeds your inquisitive thought of what's down there.
Yeah, there's a mystery. I know I want to go there and check it out, but I don't want to be shot down by walrus
We'll do
Team
a
6.
We'll do a live show from over there. I know what I saw.
Immediately get canceled.
Yeah, immediately. What happened to these three podcasters? I don't know. They've never been seen again.
Damn, black bagged at the Antarctic pole.
That'd be so terrifying. Imagine we're just there, you're exploring, and then out of nowhere, there's people that just black bag you.
Dude. I don't want to imagine that because I know that's the one thing that does happen. Out of everything we've said on this show, that's
exactly.
the one thing that's an
People
assurance.
disappear. Yep, people definitely disappear. It's like, what happened to that guy? Oh, I don't know.
Who are you talking about?
What a good run, guys. talking about running, I think we've run out of time for this great episode.
You sly dog.
That was perfect.
Sadly,
that was very
but, yeah.
masterfully done.
Awesome.
Thank you. I had a lot of fun with this episode, getting into the whole conspiracies, and opens up our mind and picks at our brains, and we can go on tangents for hours if we wanted to, but we're
Definitely.
time constricted.
And subscribe to our Patreon if you want to hear the full discussion.
Yeah.
There you go.
But thank you, Corey and Cale, like always, for co-hosting or hosting, writing stories, and just having a good time.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Man.
My
Thank you,
buddies.
Tyler, for being the best host we've ever seen in our lives.
Oh, thank
There
you,
you
thank
go.
you.
I think this is a good example. I mean, I think you really get to see how our minds work.
Yeah.
Whenever we have questions like this, like
Forget
what do you
that.
imagine
Yeah, exactly,
in this
Tyler.
situation, and you really
Like,
get an insight, and like whether that's good or bad, we'll never know. But you let us know.
As long as we
Let
keep
us-
you all
yes.
thinking.
Yeah,
That's the important part,
we'll
right?
be here. It's a part of the show where we give our socials out so you can see other things that we're into, our hobbies and our interests. So if
Very
we were to
nice.
find you on socials, Cale, where can we get at you?
Get at me. Get on you.
Get
you can
on
find
ya.
me on you can find me on Instagram as Tall Tale Cale with a underscore in between each word and a C instead of a K. And I'm bearded_giant on TikTok. We also have our communal TikTok as the weekly Tall Talk, no spaces, no nothing. And we post some little shorts and clips from each episode, and we try to get out some teasers, get out some feelers,
Mm-hmm.
and
Gotta love
we
it.
go from there. But that's all I have for myself. On to the next.
If you like all the lies that I've spewed this episode, you can find me on Instagram, the only social media platform that I have not
The
been
only.
banned from entirely.
Wow.
There it is.
Just a shadow ban.
Surprising.
Yeah, if you want to find me before I'm completely black bagged, my handle is Corey.Andre, Corey period ONDREY. But one of the most important questions I think I've ever asked in my life, I want to ask you, Tyler. Where can we find you on social media?
Oh, have I got a story for you?
Let's do it.
No. You can find me on Instagram at Teelo43. That's TEELO and the number 43. We also have our communal Instagram for the weekly Tall Talk. That is the_weekly_tall_talk.
Yeah.
It's a lot of
And,
underscores.
Yeah. Yes, it is, but
I like
it
it.
works. So
It gets the
You can
point
find,
across. Gets the job done.
we'll let you know when we post our new episodes and what they're about, so you guys can get kind of like an idea what we're going to be talking about that week. I have TikTok as well. That's also Tilo43, but the most important one,
Mhm.
which you all know,
Mhm.
which I did mid podcast,
A
is
mid
I
podcast,
took
Podcast.
time
mid-stream.
away,
Mid-recording.
mid recording. I took time away to stream a little bit on Twitch. You might know me as Sushi and Moose.
The sushi
Not,
moose.
You don't. Not and. So it's sushi and then moose.
Right.
It never
Just
fails.
two words.
Every
It's
time.
nothing in
It's
between.
together. They're one word, but they're two.
One word, but together.
One
Right.
and one.
No extra, letters. All right.
Absolutely.
If you like what you've heard from the weekly Tall Talk, join us next week where we'll explain something more bizarre. Maybe to your liking. But that's enough from us for tonight. And we love you. We appreciate your support. And have a good morning, good night, good evening. We'll tell you later.